This is CBC Here and Now.
An electrifying day in St. John's. The Stanley Cup was paraded through these streets, hoisted by the city's own champion, Alex Newhook. We'll have all the highlights coming up on Here and Now.
Sure should come from the Vatican, sure should. I mean, why aren't they responsible any more than we are, you know?
Left to pay the price. Some in St. Bride's believe Rome should compensate Mount Cashel victims, not rural Newfoundland. Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes. Well, it's North America's oldest sports trophy, and tonight it's in the oldest city in Canada. Alex Newhook brought the Stanley Cup home, and thousands turned up to see it at today's parade in downtown St. John's. Our Zach Gowdy was there and is standing by live. So Zach, quite the party. Can you describe what it was like there today?
Just a thrilling moment, Carolyn, and people had traveled from across the province to be here to take part in it, to see the Stanley Cup for their own eyes, and to cheer on the young man who brought it home. Alex Newhook is just 21 years old. He's barely old enough to get on George Street, but he was here today and he brought a very special guest with him. All the tourists come to George Street, even Stanley. But that young man, he's no tourist. Alex Newhook was born and raised here, and today was his day. The Stanley Cup parade wound through the streets of downtown with a great crowd every inch of the way. But when they got to George Street, they got out and walked the rest of the way. Alex Newhook becomes the third person from this province to bring the Stanley Cup to Newfoundland and Labrador. Danny Cleary did it first in 2008, bringing the Stanley Cup to Harbour Grace. Michael Ryder was close behind him, winning it just 3 years later and bringing it to Bonavista. In both cases, the Cup made brief stopovers here in St. John's before going out the bay. But today, it came to St. John's and stayed here. Alex Newhook, when he could finally make it through the crowd, he got up and thanked the city and the province for hosting this event, thanked his family, first and foremost, his parents Sean and Paula and sister Abby. He thanked the scores of old friends and old teammates who had traveled to be here and share in his triumphant moment. And he made a special thank you to all of the kids who turned out, and there were so many of them in the crowd. Let's hear what Alex Newhook had to say to them.
I thank the city of St. John's, the province of Newfoundland and Labrador for putting off such a great event, letting me share this with all you guys. To all the kids that are here, it's so good seeing so many young kids around, boys, girls, whether they play hockey or not. So good to see all you kids out here. I remember when I was your guys' age. I remember when Michael Ryder brought it home and Danny Cleary, and looking up to those guys when I was your guys' age. So I'm really happy that I can share this with you guys. Keep dreaming. Anything's possible. Like this should show you right here. I was your guys' age once, and looking at me up here.
What a great message from Alex Newhook, speaking directly to all the young fans who turned out to see him today, letting them know that he was looking at Danny Cleary and Michael Ryder half a lifetime ago and imagining himself in their shoes. And today, all of those young people in the crowd were doing just the same. We got to speaking with many of them today, and we wanted to share some of those great moments with you.
Well, it's my birthday, and it's a one-in-a-lifetime experience to see the Stanley Cup.
You're never going to forget this.
No, never.
We were from Bishop Falls, Central Newfoundland, and we jumped in the car for 4 hours to get here today just because we like the Stanley Cup a lot and we like hockey.
Tell me, why are you so excited about seeing the Stanley Cup today?
Because I like the Stanley Cup.
Why?
Because it's the best cup. And
because we always see it on TV, and it'll be amazing to see it in person.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Stanley Cup before.
I'm just happy that Tampa didn't win because I'm a Leafs fan, and
Me too.
now I hate Tampa.
So this is as much about revenge as celebrations for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you guys play hockey?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's it like when you see somebody, who comes from the same place as you guys, who's been in the same training programs as you guys, when you see someone like that succeed as highly as Alex Newhook has? How does it feel for you?
It feels really, really good. It tells me, whenever I think that a Newfoundlander can get into the NHL, it makes me believe that I can get into the NHL.
You can't say it any better than that. Charlie Warren, 11 years old, just one of the little big fans of Alex Newhook, here to see him bring the Stanley Cup to St. John's today. We'll have many more moments from Alex Newhook and the Cup's trip to the city. It might have ended here on George Street, but it started way back at Bannerman Park. It actually started yesterday at the St. John's Airport. We've got all of that video to show you throughout the show, so don't go anywhere. Reporting live, I'm Zach Gowdy for Here and Now.
Well, the fans certainly had lots of blue sky today, lots of sunshine as well. Just behind Zach there, you can see the shot. Oh, a little bit of a bug on the screen there too. A little bit of sunshine, lots of sunshine right now, rather, I should say, out there. Beautiful evening, 22 degrees right now. 27 is what it's feeling like with that humid, bit of a westerly breeze there as well. Sunsets at 8 p.m. tonight, and that is the last time that the sunset will be at 8 p.m., I should say, until, unfortunately, April, as we head through the next year, really. So what's going on right now? Not a whole lot. As you can see, that blue sky, but we do have an area of low pressure to the north, even some thunderstorms up across parts of Labrador today. In fact, you can see it right there, but the thunderstorms moved through. Temperatures dropped in Cartwright earlier today, down to 19 degrees when that happened, from 27 down to 19, and then rebounded a little bit around 24 degrees. We've been under heat warnings for the last couple of days. That has ended, but we are going to see some of that heat build again through parts of the province as we head through the week. I'll get into the full forecast coming up.
Thanks, Ashley. Well, 2 men are dead following 2 separate motorcycle crashes over the weekend. Deer Lake RCMP responded to a report on Friday afternoon of a motorcycle crash that happened on the Trans-Canada Highway near Little Rapids. A 53-year-old driver from Pasadena died at the scene. And on Saturday, Mary's Harbor RCMP received a report of a motorcycle crash that happened on Route 510 near the community. A 58-year-old driver from Quebec also died at that scene. Well, the forest fires in central Newfoundland are still burning, but you may not see much evidence of that. The province's forest fire duty officer says the 2 major fires in central are mostly low burning or burning underground. He says the rain over the past few days was a great help, but underground, where the earth is dry, the fires are still burning and flaring up from time to time. Well, in other news, a smattering of Catholic churches across rural Newfoundland are up for sale to compensate victims of the Mount Cashel orphanage abuse scandal. But as Here and Now's Malone Mullen reports, some of the local faithful think it's Rome that should pay.
This modest church is the beating heart of St. Bride's. The people of this sleepy outpour built it and fixed it up over the decades. It's where babies are baptized, then get married, and where the community gathers to say its final goodbyes to loved ones. But even though Sacred Heart Parish is central to life here, locals fear they could soon lose it for good.
This church is a big part of our history on the Cape Shore. When our ancestors come from Ireland 200 years ago, this is the religion that they brought to the Cape Shore, and they started from scratch, building churches. Our churches and our priest's house is going up for sale. And in order for us to obtain ownership, more or less, of it, we would have to come up with $540,000. That's nearly $1,000 for every person living on the Cape Shore, man, woman, and child.
Kevin McGraw says all 4 Catholic churches on the Cape Shore paid the St. John's Archdiocese $140,000, almost all their savings, to compensate victims of the Mount Cashel orphanage. They thought it meant they could keep their parishes, but last week, all 4 of them went up for sale.
It's hard to believe, it's hard to swallow that we will lose our church. We worked so hard to put it there, you know. I was only a very young boy. I was here in St. Bride's and used buckets here at this church to bring up sand and cement. The gravel and stone was hauled on horses and trucks here. Rocks, all this building was built, and all this building is concrete. It was built all by free labour.
Henry Careen has gone to Sacred Heart his whole life, and he's been here every day since he retired, tinkering on the building and adding to its small museum. He thinks the Mount Cashel victims deserve the $50 million they're owed, but that the money shouldn't come from rural Newfoundland.
Sure, it should come from the Vatican. Sure, it should. I mean, why aren't they responsible any more than we are, you know? Yeah, it's hard to believe, you know.
The way these parishioners see it, St. Bride's is about as far away from Mount Cashel as Rome itself.
That's where the money should come from. The Vatican, yes. The money shouldn't come from these little communities. There's no receipts where the Archdiocese sent us out money out here. We're operating on our own.
McGraw says Sacred Heart is more than just a building. It's a cultural symbol, a piece of living history.
If it gets a big funeral, weddings, baptisms, it's a gathering place. That's why I'd say it's a part of our culture. Wherever we look around those pews, we can see all the family surnames that came right from Ireland. Foley, McGrath, Conway, Manning, Dowey, and Londrigan, the list goes on like that. And wherever I look at those pews, I can see where them people sit all through this past 70 years since this church was built.
McGraw got married here, so did his parents and their parents, and now his daughter is hanging on to hope for the same.
It's a part of our history, it's a part of our culture. What else have we got in those little communities if we haven't got our church?
Malone Mullen, CBC News, St. Bride's.
Well, just a day ahead of his visit to Stephenville, the Prime Minister is looking at a number of potential projects that would see liquefied natural gas exported from the East Coast directly to Europe. He spoke today at a news conference with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz.
Because of the difficulty that Germany is facing to make sure that we can move through regulatory hurdles more quickly is something we're willing to do, but there needs to be a business case. It needs to make sense for Germany to be receiving LNG directly from the East Coast. Those are discussions that are ongoing right now between our ministers, between various companies, to see if indeed it makes sense.
The German Chancellor is in Canada for a 3-day visit focusing on energy and trade. He'll join Trudeau in Stephenville tomorrow, where the pair is expected to sign a green energy agreement. The mayor of Stephenville calls the visit unprecedented and believes there is a huge potential for a local project.
The data that's coming forward now is basically saying we may have the best wind corridor in North America, possibly the world. And when a project of $12 billion is looking at coming to this town, there's a lot of socioeconomic benefits with it, a lot of direct jobs, indirect jobs, tertiary industries. And just the contingent that's arriving here today and tomorrow in Stephenville is groundbreaking and probably the first for this province of Newfoundland and Labrador.
And of course, Here and Now will continue to follow this story. We'll have live coverage of the Prime Minister's visit to Stephenville and more on what the agreement might mean for this province. That's tomorrow on the show. Leaders of an anti-racism group say hate-motivated incidents are escalating in this province. That's after a TikTok video went viral last week showing one man's racist and homophobic tirade. It's not clear when the video was recorded, but it's prompted the Anti-Racism Coalition to speak out about how to better protect racialized people, Indigenous people, and religious minorities. Daryl Roberts is standing by in our newsroom. So Daryl, first off, what is the Anti-Racism Coalition saying about this incident?
Sobia Sheikh, co-chair of the coalition, says she was disturbed by the video, but she wasn't surprised. In fact, she says it's part of a pattern of hateful incidents over the past few months.
I think the fact that it is happening on a recurring basis, we've had 2 mosques be vandalized, we've had 3 Muslim girls being assaulted, physically and verbally assaulted in St. John's. We've had graffiti in CBS. This video took place in CBS close to Manuel's River again.
That pattern reflects a national problem. According to Statistics Canada, police reported hate crimes surged across the country over the past 2 years. Okay, so Daryl, how has law enforcement responded to this? The RNC released a statement last week. It says it's investigating the incident. The RNC also noted that while there is no hate crime offense under the Criminal Code of Canada, there are offenses under hate propaganda. Sheikh says she would have liked to see more in that statement to reject hate-motivated incidents like this one.
We have to remember that the effects of these crimes, of these acts, are on real people, on Black, migrant, Indigenous, racialized people.
There are options if someone doesn't want to contact law enforcement. You can also contact the Anti-Racism Coalition or get in touch with the Human Rights Commission. They have a conflict resolution service for people who identify as Indigenous, racialized, or as part of a religious minority.
So now you spoke also with the Coalition's Education Committee. What are they looking for here?
Vincent Estick wants the Justice Department to introduce an anti-racism act and beef up human rights legislation. He wants to see action now before someone gets hurt.
It's this gradual escalation, if you will, of incidences. It will get to the point where there will be a horrible physical altercation. Does that need to happen?
The Anti-Racism Coalition has sent recommendations to several municipalities, and it wants municipal leaders to speak up about racism and develop anti-racist policies. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Daryl Roberts in St. John's.
Well, today was a day Alex Newhook and his family won't soon forget, bringing the Stanley Cup home, parading it through downtown St. John's and onto the stage on George Street in front of a packed crowd. We caught up with Alex, his mother Paula, and his sister Abby to hear more about this epic experience.
Number 18 in the playbook, number 1 in your hearts, Alex Newhook.
How are you doing? The support, guys, is unbelievable. I can't say enough about it.
Newfoundland and Labradorians, I think we love our hockey, and people don't realize how much of a hockey province we are. You know, the energy's high. Everyone is very ecstatic to see it, and it's been great. Seeing Nan and Pop in the car in front of me was pretty special. And they looked back and they were kind of like, "Whoa, this is crazy!" You know, we're in the parade, and you know, my Nan didn't even know we get it for a day. She was like, "Are you kidding me? That's not true." She was telling everyone it's a lie, but it's here.
Cup on your dining room table. We've all seen the picture. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, just going in there and being able to relax for a little bit before you got the day started and just hang out with it. Look over and see it kind of right next to me on the dining room table in our house that I grew up in. It was awesome.
I think it's clear that there are 3 stars here today. There's you, there's the cup, and there's your sister as well. She got a real welcome as well here today. What did you think about that?
Yeah, it's awesome to see the support for her, for my family. You know, Abby's doing so well for herself. We're really close, and we you know, grew up playing together. She was on my team in Adam. So to see her doing so well and to see everyone show her, you know, that love and that support, it's fun to see. It makes me a proud brother.
Abby, Abby, Abby.
Folks were chanting your name today. What did that feel like for you?
Honestly, I could have never expected that. Today is Alex's day, and it's obviously super special for him, and for the people of Newfoundland to come out and chant my name and make it special for me as well is just something I never imagined, but definitely an honor, and I'm very lucky.
Your name always seems to come up too with Alex, and even today on stage talking about like who's the better player, is it Alex or Abby? And of course Alex said it was you. How interesting is that for you to be getting that kind of attention this early on?
Yeah, totally. I mean, when I first saw that comment, it was kind of something that I was like, oh, I think he wrote that back when he was in like middle school or even younger than that, but then to realize that that came from him at the NHL draft when he was at the top of his hockey career, and just to bring me into that was super special, and having people continue to kind of say it is definitely cool for me to hear and stuff like that. But I mean, 2 different games, and I really respect him for that.
They love her. Oh my God, they've been so great. Yeah, it's so great that she can be here and partake in all this, and she's been out signing her signature all day as well. I couldn't be more proud. What a day we're having, honestly. We've been on the go since 6 o'clock this morning, and just so many engagements. This parade, I mean, you couldn't even dream to have a parade like that. The people have been amazing. Everyone's out. Such a beautiful day. Oh, it's been a day.
You know, I know I've worked hard for this my whole life. It's pretty surreal to be able to hold this and kind of treat it as my own for the day. And yeah, you know, I've worked for it. I've dreamt of this for a long time, so it means a lot.
I think that's all I got. Thanks again. The support's crazy. Newfoundland and Labrador. I love being from here. I'm so proud to be from here, and we did it. So thank you. Thank you.
Well, they certainly had some beautiful weather today. Humidity returns through midweek and continues for a little while. I'll get into the full forecast coming up.
I don't think that he could pick a better day to bring the Stanley Cup to St. John's than today. It was just beautiful out there. The sun was shining. It was a bit hot downtown, I must say, in the crowd.
It's that sunshine.
Yeah.
It gets you every time.
But
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful day.
Yeah, I mean, overall temperatures weren't actually that hot today. It was only about 23 degrees, but you factor in that humidex, felt more like the upper 20s, add in that sunshine, feels even more beautiful. And considering it, I mean, we have a week, basically last week of RDF, so.
Yeah, that's right.
So it definitely feels nice to see that return of the sunshine. Let's take a look at the temperatures though, because as you head through Central, they were much warmer, even along the northeast coast. Look at that. Lassie, Twillingate, Bonavista, 26 to 28 degrees today. Even work your way further up the coast. Cartwright, 28 this afternoon. Like I said, thunderstorm rolled through earlier and that temperature dropped. And unfortunately, this will be the end of it. That heat warning has since ended, but you take a look at that humidex value right now, currently sitting at about 23 degrees in Cartwright, still feeling more like 29. So a beautiful evening. As far as temperatures go though, Happy Valley Goose Bay feeling more like 28. Even Lab City, you're not feeling super humid, but it's about 20 degrees right now, so pretty nice. And then across the island, humidex values through Central between 30 and 31, even Twillingate right now, you're feeling more like 31. So the reason for that is, again, where that dew point is sitting. So right now, anywhere from 15 to 17, but take a look at what happens as we head through, this is Tuesday, but as we head through Wednesday, we're starting to get those dew point values somewhere between 19, even 20. So really going to start to get uncomfortable through the day on Wednesday through a good chunk of the island. And it's going to be also with some rain, at least through the first half of Wednesday. And as we even head into Thursday, though, we'll start to see those humidex values continue into the 14 to 19 degree range. So the rain will be associated with this area of low pressure that's spinning over Ontario right now. This is also a not super humid, but a humid air mass as well. So it's going to bring that a little bit further north, and you can see it's pulling in some of that moisture as well. Those oranges is where we're seeing that moisture, and it's going to funnel that moisture towards the island as we head through Tuesday night into Wednesday. So that means we'll likely see some pretty significant rainfall at times. It'll be very similar to what we saw last week, where pockets of between 30 to 50 millimeters certainly not out of the question. And again, this will be from Tuesday night through to Wednesday morning, fall fairly quickly. Looks like we'll see some showers for southeastern portions of Labrador as well, and we could see somewhere between 20 to 30 millimeters with that. Which is great news, again, for that forest fire through Central for sure. Taking a look at what's happening though near term, we do have some showers and thunderstorms moving through southeastern portions of Labrador as we speak. That'll end in the next couple of hours, and we'll actually see some clearing skies through the overnight. Maybe a few showers through central Labrador, but overall, the best chance of showers will be for the northern peninsula, and that will be through overnight and into the early morning hours on Tuesday. Actually continuing for a good chunk of the morning. Temperatures tonight across the island, somewhere between 14 to 17 or 18 degrees, warmest for the northern peninsula. Those winds out of the southwest between 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. The further west you go, those winds will ease. Unfortunately, cool tonight though for Lab City, down to single digits with that chance of showers, and then otherwise between 10 to 17 for the rest of the Big Land. Now, as we head through tomorrow, most of the day actually looking fairly nice. We'll likely see some increasing cloud though as the day goes on. And then the potential for some showers lingering for southeastern portions of the Big Land. And then that system starts to move in a little bit further. So showers should start on the southwest coast by supper time and then continue to work their way further north and east through the overnight. And this is where we'll likely see some of that heavier precipitation right along the south coast, even through portions of central, not showing it fairly well there. There's that other area of showers that will move through the day on Wednesday. Temperatures tomorrow going to stay into the 20s, right around where we were sitting today, about 22 degrees in St. John's. Winds out of the south, a bit more breezy though, 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. As you head towards central, a little bit warmer even still, 23 to 25 degrees, staying a little bit cooler on the south coast in that onshore flow. And then as you head towards the west coast, those winds out of the southwest, 20 to 40 kilometers per hour, and again temperatures in the about mid 20s through the day. Same thing for northern peninsula, a little bit more gray for you, and then much different story tomorrow for Cartwright, only reaching a high near 19 degrees tomorrow, and that's because the winds are going to shift to more onshore. Otherwise, cooler temperatures again for Nain, 14 degrees tomorrow. Lots of sunshine though for you, and then around 21 degrees for Lab City with those winds out of the southwest between 15 to 20 kilometers per hour. Lots of sunshine. Actually, a nice stretch of weather for you as well. I'll get into the long range forecast when I come back.
Thanks, Ashley. Parts of the Waterford watershed on the Avalon are being studied this summer. The watershed flows through St. John's, Mount Pearl, and Paradise. Volunteers have been picking up garbage and planting trees, and we caught up with them for the last cleanup of the season.
For the summer, we've mostly been focusing on researching and assessing the Waterford River and conducting cleanups and rehabilitation activities, and also doing some outreach and education passing along to people who live near the river. It's basically just the general things of don't litter, pick up your garbage, things like that, and homeowners specifically, if you reside near the river, to just be careful with things like pesticides. Even pet waste on the trails and stuff like that can be carried through runoff, and that can be harmful to the water quality as well. So just things like that. There's also a lot of erosion that's been happening, so if you do have land near the river and you notice there's erosion happening, just to be mindful of that, and there's no debris and things are falling into the river with that erosion. This is our third cleanup. We're doing one at each of the municipalities that the Waterford runs through. So it's Paradise, Mount Pearl, and St. John's. We've basically just been going around and picking up garbage along the river and the general floodplain area. It's really important just to keep garbage out of the river because it can be really dangerous to all the fish and other aquatic species. And so as increasing urbanization happens in the area, it's more susceptible to pollution. So we're just kind of trying to slow that process down and help in any way that we can. The Green Team is ages 16 to 30 all across Newfoundland and Labrador. They work towards promoting environmental conservation throughout the province, specifically with youth, giving them employment opportunities in that area. I am, about climate change, very scared personally. I'm really worried about our future. All the youths everywhere, I'm worried about our future, especially with, the weather that we've seen recently is an indication, the heat waves and strange weather patterns that we've been seeing in a lot of places around the world. I think it's just important to kind of get in there any way you can, and this was a really great program to do something in my own community that would help towards climate change. And I just think it's definitely something that everybody needs to be talking about nowadays. It's very important.
The Stanley Cup parade ended up here in downtown St. John's, but the party got started yesterday at the St. John's Airport. We'll take you there next on Here and Now.
NHL hockey player, and he won the Stanley Cup, and he's bringing it to St. John's. He's an NHL hockey player, and he won the Stanley Cup. He's famous, and he played for the Avalanche Celtics. He played. Yeah, that's what I said. I wanted to come out here because I wanted to see him and tell him how good he is, and I want to learn off of him, and I think that he did so good.
How big a deal is it that he's coming here?
Big deal.
Oh, the place is buzzing. Everybody's so excited. Lots of hugs, handshakes, high fives. Everybody's just so excited to be a part of the Stanley Cup celebration on such a beautiful summer day. Alex played for the Avalanche Celtics when he was in minor hockey, so that's where he got his start, and definitely boosts the morale of the Celtics to know that we have an NHLer actively playing that just won the Cup, so that's a Celtics connection to him. He used to play for them.
I'm at a total loss for words. Coming out here, seeing everyone during the parade, seeing everyone packed on George Street. This crowd has been crazy ever since we left Bannerman Park, ever since I got to Bannerman Park. Newfoundland and Labrador. I love being from here. I'm so proud to be from here. And we did it, so thank you. Thank you.
3 hours later, and you can still feel the energy here in downtown St. John's. Still seeing lots of folks wearing Alex Newhook t-shirts and Colorado Avalanche jerseys, and just savoring this great chapter in the province's sports history. Now, Lord Stanley's third trip to Newfoundland and Labrador got started yesterday. Where else? At the St. John's Airport. There was a great crowd waiting there at the bottom of the stairs, ready to get the first glimpse of that cup and to cheer for Alex Newhook as he took those first steps on his victory lap.
It's hard to imagine. Like, I've always dreamed of it, obviously, coming home, and to be able to bring it down the stairs here was pretty special. Having all my friends and family here, it's still pretty surreal. And the music and everything, definitely didn't expect it to be this crowded, but definitely just makes me that much more excited for tomorrow and everything we're gonna do with it. It's gonna be a good day. Yeah, it's hard to describe. Even like waking up this morning and thinking that it's gonna be here and that I'm the one picking it up. It's pretty cool. Like I said, it's hard to describe the emotions, but it's gonna be a very emotional couple of days for sure. Yeah, it's so cool. Something I definitely don't take for granted. Seeing all these kids around, I know like if I was their age, I'd be here doing the same thing and cheering, whoever was on. So, yeah, just try to be a role model for those kids. There's definitely another kid out there that's going to make it. So, just trying to be that guy for them. We're going to take it around to the schools I went to early in the morning, kind of thing. Just to get a couple pictures. Other than that, we're going to spend some time with the family and friends. Kind of have a bit of time to ourselves and have a good day. The date has been circled for a long time. All my buddies from away came in Friday, so they're all excited for it, and obviously all my friends and family that are here have been excited for a while. But yeah, it's surreal for sure. It's fun to share with the people that have got you here and that have done so much for me and my family, immediate family, and then even all my friends and stuff. It's going to be fun to share with them.
Saw this crowd of fellas, and I could tell they were here to see Alex Newhook. Guys, what did it feel like to see the cup today?
It felt awesome, seeing the cup in St. John's, and I had a good time.
Did anybody get to meet Alex, or did anybody get to put a hand on it?
Yeah, we all got a chance to touch it and it was only a tiny bit, but it was fun.
It's only like a tiny bit, but it's a special moment, hey?
Yeah, it is a special moment.
I know you guys see the Stanley Cup on TV and you've sort of seen moments like this in other cities, but what's it like when it's your hometown and it's right there, right in front of your eyes?
Yeah, it felt awesome. I just wanted to touch it. I did get to touch it a little bit after, but I wanted to get a picture, but security guards wouldn't let me up there.
Yeah. It was a bit of a hectic scene in there. Some of you guys play hockey as well?
Yeah, some of us plays like caps hockey and that, and like just down on, I don't know.
So when you're looking at Alex Newhook up there with the cup, are you sort of picturing yourself standing in his shoes one day?
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, guys, I hope so too. It's been a great day to think about the times in Harbor Grace and Bonavista Vista when the cup has been here before. Great to add another page to that story, Carol, and whether it's one of these guys or anybody else, we already can't wait to see where the cup goes next and who's the next Newfoundlander or Labradorian to bring it home.
Absolutely. So much excitement today, and what a source of inspiration for all of the young people who turned out to see Alex Newhook today. And Alex himself just being 21 years old, it's hard to believe. Zach, thank you so much for this. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Carolyn. Great to be here.
That's Zach Gowdy reporting live from downtown St. John's.
My heart's gonna be racing a bit, can't lie. But 20 beats second. It's gonna be really fun. I'm gonna try my best to I got like a rookie card back there, trying to get it signed. But, you know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm gonna say it's an honor, definitely, because it is. Oh, for sure.
As we reported earlier, Germany's Chancellor Olaf Scholz is in Canada for a 3-day visit. Today he touched down in Montreal. Tomorrow he'll be in this province, in Stephenville, along with the Prime Minister. That visit focuses on key themes, among them the war in Ukraine and the energy crisis. The CBC's David Thurton has more.
On day 2 of his visit, a slight stumble, but a quick save from the German Chancellor. He and his country know a thing or two about making the wrong move. Scholz admits over the years, Germany has been too reliant on Russia for fuel.
Unverzichtbar. We want to move out of our dependency of Russian gas supplies.
Europe and Germany face the prospect of a tough winter as Russia attempts to blame gas supply cuts on a broken turbine. But Scholz and Trudeau say the Kremlin is weaponizing fuel in an attempt to divide allies.
What Russia is doing is splitting population, splitting allies, splitting all those who are supporting the Ukraine.
So Putin's decision to invade, to try and weaken us, has actually led countries like Canada and Germany to stand even closer together.
Closer together defeating Russia and Ukraine, but also, they say, working together in other areas, like harnessing the potential of so-called green hydrogen. When burned, it doesn't produce any carbon emissions. When windmills and other renewables are used to extract the H2 molecule from water, it leaves an even lower carbon footprint.
Newfoundland and Labrador is one of the windiest places on Earth.
On Tuesday, Scholz and Trudeau will visit a town in Newfoundland and Labrador with big hopes of producing green hydrogen for Canada and the world.
But now every time I go outside and the wind is in my face, I'm smiling because I know the economic, innovative green projects that are coming here because of it.
Hydrogen in Canada remains but a hope. Large-scale production remains a long ways off, too far off to help solve the energy crisis that Germany and Europe faces this winter. David Thurton, CBC News, Ottawa.
And we'll have live coverage of the Prime Minister's visit to Stephenville tomorrow and more on what the agreement might mean for this province. That's tomorrow on Here and Now. Well, it's a story we've been following here in this province. Pressures brought on by the ongoing healthcare crisis. 4 of Canada's Conservative provincial premiers are meeting in New Brunswick to discuss just that.
Across this country, we have a healthcare system in crisis. So for me, all options are on the table to understand what are best practices, not only throughout our country, but in other countries. What can we do differently in relation to how we deliver services and who can do it best?
Ontario Premier Doug Ford joined his 3 maritime colleagues. All 4 provinces have been dealing with staffing shortages, temporary closures of emergency rooms, and long waits for surgeries. The premiers say they want to work with the federal government and the healthcare sector to solve the problems. Well, CBC News has learned Health Canada is expected to decide on whether or not to authorize Moderna's bivalent COVID-19 vaccine in the next 2 weeks. This, the same day Canada secures additional doses of the booster shot. Moderna says it has a contract to ship 4.5 million doses to Canada. That's in addition to the 1.5 million doses that were pre-ordered for 2023, which will be delivered this year. Existing COVID-19 vaccines continue to provide protection against hospitalizations and death. The updated shot is said to be more effective because it targets both the original strain and the BA.1 subvariant. Health Canada still needs to provide regulatory approval to bivalent candidates from both Moderna and Pfizer-BioNTech. Public health officials are encouraging Canadians to keep their shots up to date as case numbers rise. Tomorrow on the St. John's Morning Show, he lost 2 of his older brothers, both at a young age, both without mourning. A conversation with James Harvey about finding comfort during a time of loss. And on Labrador Morning tomorrow, reconnecting with Jiggy Jig. She's an iconic radio personality who dominated the airwaves in Labrador West for more than a decade, bringing jigs and jokes. A look back on her career and where she is now. A group of dedicated volunteers is working on a historical restoration project with ties to the Klondike Gold Rush. They're rebuilding a century-old lighthouse on the southeastern shore of Alaska. Our colleagues at Radio Canada went along with the volunteers a little earlier this summer, and the CBC's Anna Damaris brings us that story.
Emerging from the clouds, the island of Eldred Rock appears from afar. It's a monument that captivates all those who see it. For the last half-century, the lighthouse has stood empty. But this summer, the island welcomed people again. 10 people, volunteers from across Alaska's southeast, braved the rocky waters to spend a week inside its walls. They're part of a team vying to bring the lighthouse back to life.
Our goal is to have all of the living spaces, the kitchen, bathroom, cleared and cleaned and tested by next year to open to the public.
The lighthouse was built in the wake of a tragedy. Dozens of lives lost at sea in a winter storm.
Here to the north of the island was where the steamship Clare Nevada wrecked in 1898. It was full of Yukon gold from the gold rush, but unfortunately they had explosives aboard and hit a rock right at the tip of this and exploded. There was flames seen from the mainland. So the Congress at that time dedicated funding from the United States to build 5 lighthouses in this area, Eldridge Rock being the last one of them built. Preservation agencies around the state have recognized that this is worth the time, the funds, and the effort to save.
To the volunteers working here, the lighthouse is a hidden gem that shows off the best of Alaska's southeastern coast.
I like it the way it is, so let's keep it that way, and if we can restore this place to something to be proud of, I think that's worthwhile and worth my time.
It hurts my feelings, that's why.
We think over time it can be self-sustaining as we make it open to the public and have them realize the value of it, contribute, either have functions here or weddings, type of thing. Technology will replace the need for lighthouses. But what the technology doesn't do is keep the history intact.
Wow, just beautiful. Thanks to the CBC's Anna Damaris and Whitehorse for that report. Just in awe of how beautiful that landscape was with the lighthouse.
And then the clouds.
Yeah, it's like the clouds were just falling out of the sky. Fog, I guess, but it was beautiful.
Yeah, I was in Alaska many years ago, but it's like that everywhere. It's just stunning.
Yeah,
and then it
great
cleared.
pictures.
Oh, beautiful. Yes.
Yeah. All right, so something else stunning has been our stunning weather today. We're going to look ahead to the long-range forecast. What's on the menu for later in the week?
Well, some more rain. I know we're dealing with quite a bit of rain last week. Much needed rain, though, of course, across parts of the province. But as we head through tomorrow night into Wednesday morning, some more heavy rain expected. Let's take a look at the future tracker to time that out for you. Not showing up nearly as heavy on this model, but it will be heavy at times through the day. There is lots of moisture available to fall as we head through the overnight into Wednesday morning. But you can see it moves through fairly quickly. At least the heavier rain moves through fairly quickly. We may see some lingering showers as the afternoon rolls through, but overall the majority of the precipitation will fall in the first half of the day. Now temperatures are also going to be fairly mild, 24 degrees, 25 through central and eastern areas of the island. However, it will feel much more significant than this as far as humidity goes. So those humidex values into the low to mid 30s through the afternoon. As far as Labrador, you're looking at some sunshine for Lab West as well as the north. Otherwise, some showers moving through. Again, some of these could be fairly heavy at times into the afternoon for southeastern portions of the Big Land. But overall, temperatures will be sitting into the 20s, 20 to 24 degrees through the day for you. Now, looking ahead, as far as the amounts go, showing somewhere between 20 to as much as 50 millimeters. We could see some pockets of heavier showers. And again, it will depend on if you see significant rain in behind each of these cells. So the chance is certainly there. It looks like the heaviest will be through the south coast, through central, and even parts of the north coast as well. On either side of that, not much significant rain, but somewhere between trace to 5 or 10 millimeters is certainly not out of the question as we head through the morning hours on Wednesday. As we head through the evening and then into Thursday, that area of low pressure will move off. Still looks like we'll see some showers in behind that, scattered though. Also some mix of sun and cloud through the day, but again, still looking at unsettled conditions with that chance of showers through the afternoon. Same thing up across the Big Land as well. And then temperatures are going to stay relatively mild, around 20 degrees for Happy Valley, Goose Bay. Same thing for Cartwright. And then temperatures for northern and western portions of Labrador will sit between 14 to 17 degrees. But we're going to hang on to that heat and humidity again across the island for the most part. Through central, 26, 27 degrees, definitely not out of the question. Again, those humidex values somewhere between 30 to as much as 35. Taking a look at the long range forecast, temperatures into the 20s, looking pretty beautiful. Some sunshine for Friday. Looks a bit unsettled as we head through the weekend, at least on Saturday at this point. And then for central Newfoundland, some clearing skies for Thursday. A few showers will linger on Friday. Same thing really into Saturday, but that's when we'll see those warmest temperatures. 26 to 27 degrees will be Thursday and Friday. And then dipping for western Newfoundland as we get towards the middle of the weekend. So about 18 degrees for your Saturday. For eastern Labrador, you're looking at some showers for Thursday, but then by Friday and Saturday, look at that, 18 degrees, a little cooler than we've been seeing, but still beautiful with lots of sunshine. And then even cooler a little bit more for western Labrador with some showers for your Saturday. Take a look at this stunning shot.
Wow.
That is an absolutely beautiful photo. I thought that was gorgeous. That's sunrise, obviously over the harbor there. Karen shared that great shot with us. And if you have any weather photos, send them to Facebook, Twitter, or email them to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Oh, it's a great angle that we don't often see.
We don't.
Of
it's
the Narrows.
True. Yes.
Yeah, beautiful shot.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that's it for us this evening. Thank you so much for spending part of your evening with us. Hope you can join us again tomorrow.
Good night.